The old house creaked, wind howled, shadows danced in the attic, dust swirled thick and heavy, the air felt cold, ominous. A single ray of sunlight pierced the dusty window, illuminating a forgotten corner. Something shimmered. It was a diary lying dusty and forgotten. The diary felt cold. Its leather cover was worn, the pages yellowed with time. An unsettling energy seemed to emanate from it, sending shivers down my spine. I knew with a certainty that chilled me to the bone that this diary held secrets, dark secrets. Sarah, a young woman with an adventurous spirit, had just inherited her grandmother's ancient house. The house was filled with memories, some pleasant, some shrouded in mystery. Driven by curiosity, Sarah ventured into the forbidden attic. The diary called to her, its presence both alluring and terrifying. She picked it up, her fingers tracing the worn leather. As she opened the diary, a musty smell filled the air, transporting her to another time. The first page simply read, "This diary writes itself. Be warned. Be..." The diary's entries were written in an elegant, flowing script, each word laced with a chilling familiarity. They spoke of a life lived in the shadows, of secrets buried deep within the house's heart. Each page Sarah turned seemed to pulse with an unseen energy. As Sarah delved deeper into the diary's entries, she felt a connection to the unknown writer. The words resonated with her own fears and desires, drawing her further into the diary's web of secrets. What started as simple curiosity was quickly turning into an obsession. With each passing night, the diary revealed more of its secrets. Sarah found herself drawn to its pages, unable to resist the allure of the past. The ink seemed to come alive under the candlelight, each word a whisper from a time long forgotten. She could almost hear the voices of those who had written these entries, their emotions seeping through the paper and into her soul. They whispered of forbidden romances, of jealous rage, and of promises made in the dead of night. The love letters, yellowed with age, spoke of a passion that defied societal norms, a love that was both beautiful and tragic. Sarah could feel the intensity of their emotions, the joy and the sorrow, as if they were her own. The diary also spoke of a darkness that clung to the house like a shroud. It was a darkness that seemed to have a life of its own, creeping into every corner and crevice. The house, once filled with laughter and light, had become a place of shadows and secrets. Sarah could feel the weight of the past pressing down on her, the air thick with the memories of those who had lived and died within its walls. The diary spoke of a hidden room, a place where the darkest secrets were kept locked away. It was a room that no one was supposed to find, a place that held the key to the house's mysteries. Sarah's curiosity was piqued, and she knew she had to find this hidden room no matter the cost. The hidden room was dark and dusty, filled with relics of the past. In the corner, a locked chest sat, its contents a mystery. Sarah could feel the weight of the secrets it held, the air heavy with the sense of something long forgotten. She knew that whatever was inside that chest could change everything. The diary entries were no longer mere words on a page. They were becoming real, invading Sarah's dreams, turning them into nightmarish visions. She saw ghostly figures approaching her, their faces twisted in anguish. The line between reality and the diary's world was blurring, and Sarah was caught in the middle. These visions filled her waking hours with dread. Every creak of the house, every whisper of the wind seemed to carry the weight of the past. Sarah found herself constantly looking over her shoulder, her heart racing with fear. The diary had become a part of her, its secrets entwined with her own life. She knew she should stop reading, that the diary was consuming her, but the pull of the diary was too strong to resist. It was as if the book had a life of its own, calling to her, drawing her deeper into its mysteries. Sarah was torn between her fear and her curiosity, unable to break free from its grip. The diary held her captive, its secrets her chains. She gripped the book tightly, her knuckles white with tension. The more she read, the more she felt connected to the past, as if the diary was a bridge between her world and the one that had come before. Sarah knew that she was on the brink of discovering something monumental. something that could change her life forever. But at what cost? Section 5. The Hidden Chamber. Driven by the diary's revelations, Sarah searched for the hidden chamber. She followed the clues hidden within the diary's cryptic entries. The house seemed to guide her, leading her through darkened hallways and down creaking stairs. Behind a bookshelf in the deepest part of the house, she found it. The door creaked open, revealing a chamber shrouded in darkness. A cold, musty air wafted out, carrying with it the scent of decay and fear. The air crackled with anticipation. The diary's secrets awaited. Section 6. The Diary's Confession. Inside the hidden chamber, Sarah found another diary, this one smaller, bound in black leather. This diary held the key to the secrets that haunted the house, the truth that the first diary had been hinting at. The black diary's entries were filled with guilt and remorse. They told the story of a love affair gone wrong, of a secret that led to murder. It confessed the writer's deepest, darkest sin. They had taken a life and buried it within the walls of the house. Section 7. The Unspoken Truth. This chapter delves into the eerie and unsettling discoveries made by Sarah, a young woman who stumbled upon an old leather-bound diary in the attic of her newly purchased home. Little did she know this diary would unravel a series of events that would change her life forever. The truth of the diary's entries was a terrifying revelation. Each page was filled with cryptic messages and ominous warnings written in a hurried, almost frantic hand. The more Sarah read, the more she felt an inexplicable connection to the writer, as if their fates were somehow intertwined. The house held a dark secret, a stain on its history. It was once the home of a family who mysteriously vanished without a trace. Neighbors spoke in hushed tones about the strange occurrences that plagued the house, but no one dared to investigate further. The diary hinted at the horrors that befell the family, but the full story remained shrouded in mystery. Sarah felt a chill run down her spine as she realized the diary's words were true. The eerie descriptions matched the unsettling feelings she had experienced since moving in. She could no longer dismiss the strange noises and fleeting shadows as mere figments of her imagination. She was living amongst the echoes of a tragedy. The walls seemed to whisper secrets, and the air was thick with a sense of foreboding. Every creak of the floorboards and rustle of the curtains felt like a reminder of the house's dark past. As she read the last entry in the black diary, she felt a presence in the room. The final words were a desperate plea for help, a warning to anyone who might find the diary. Sarah's heart raced as she realized she was not alone. Turning slowly, her heart pounding in her chest, she saw a shadowy figure standing in the corner, its eyes glowing with an eerie light. The figure seemed to be watching her, waiting for her next move. It was as if the very essence of the house had come to life, manifesting in this spectral form. The figure reached out to her. Its hand, shrouded in darkness, extended towards Sarah as if beckoning her to come closer. She felt an overwhelming sense of dread, but also a strange compulsion to understand the truth behind the diary and the house's haunted past. The unspoken truth was now a part of her reality, and there was no turning back. Section 8. The Attic's Embrace. The attic, a place of forgotten memories and hidden fears, loomed above Sarah like a dark cloud. She had always been afraid of this place, ever since she was a child. The creaking floorboards, the whispering wind, and the eerie shadows that danced on the walls had always sent shivers down her spine. Terror gripped Sarah's heart as the figure approached. She could feel her pulse quicken, her breath coming in short, ragged gasps. The figure moved with an unnatural grace, its form barely visible in the dim light. It was as if the shadows themselves had come to life, reaching out to claim her. She tried to scream, but no sound escaped her lips. Her voice was trapped in her throat, a silent cry for help that would never be heard. The fear was paralyzing, holding her in place as the figure drew closer. She could see its eyes now, dark and hollow, filled with a malevolent intent. The figure, a ghostly apparition born of guilt and despair, reached out, its touch sending a wave of icy cold through her body. It was as if the very essence of the attic had come to life, manifesting in this spectral form. The cold seeped into her bones, chilling her to the core. The diary lay open on the attic floor, its pages filled with the whispers of the past. Each word seemed to glow with an eerie light, casting strange shadows on the walls. The diary was a relic of a time long gone, a testament to the secrets that the attic held. Sarah could feel the weight of those secrets pressing down on her, suffocating her. The attic was silent now, the wind no longer howling, the shadows no longer dancing. It was as if the very air had been sucked out of the room, leaving behind a void of silence. The stillness was oppressive, a stark contrast to the chaos that had just unfolded. Sarah could feel the silence pressing in on her, a tangible force that threatened to overwhelm her. The house had kept its secrets for far too long. It was a place of darkness and despair, a place where the past refused to stay buried. The walls seemed to whisper with the voices of those who had come before, their stories etched into the very fabric of the house. Sarah could feel the weight of those stories, a heavy burden that she could not escape. And now it had claimed Sarah too. She was just another chapter in the house's dark history, another soul lost to the shadows. As she disappeared into the darkness, she could feel the weight of the attic's embrace, a cold and unyielding grip that would never let her go. Section 9. The diary lives on. The old house still stands, its windows dark, its secrets buried deep within its walls. Some say that on a stormy night you can hear the scratching of a pen in the attic, the diary continuing to write its story. The diary's power remains. It waits for the next curious soul to stumble upon its leather-bound cover, to get drawn into its web of secrets. Be warned, not all stories are meant to be read. Some secrets are best left undisturbed.